efficiency and consistency, it's a different Duke team.
Watch out now.
Here comes Barrett! Nasty!
R.J. Barrett!
Right now, here comes Vasiljevic. Great look, but Zundu wasn't ready for it. O'Connell ahead of the field. And that was...
And there's excellent defense by Reddish. Marked it up. And you know, Wally Zerbiak talked about Barrett's steal.
As they await the return of Zion Williamson out today for a third straight game. Look at Duke all over the floor. Ahead to Barrett. Easy deuce. Another...
escapes.
What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So yes, Duke gets 2 victories this week. A pretty big blowout win against Miami, which was cool on Saturday, I believe it was. And then the other day against Wake Forest, as you saw right there, barely last second, that shot almost went in, and luckily the tide went for Duke, but good thing they got that W. It would have really sucked to get that pretty bad of a loss on your, going into the March Madness tournament. But luckily they did get it. And it does look like Zion Williamson will be out for the North Carolina game this weekend, which sucks also because I was kind of hoping he'd make a triumphant return against a team where he got injured and they blew us out. But I just hope that he will be ready within a week or so after that for the ACC tournament, just to see what they could do, and for the March Madness tournament as well. And then with the last game, I believe it was during the Wake Forest game, RJ Barrett became the not highest scoring, but most scoring freshman of all time at Duke, even passing like JJ Redick, Marvin Bagley, all those guys. It's pretty crazy, and you still have a few games left in the regular season as well. So that's just awesome. That's why I always compared him to Kobe even before this season. And obviously Kobe his nickname is the Black Mamba, and they call him the Maple Mamba, obviously because he's from Canada and all that stuff. So yes, hopefully this can lead to some success in a few weeks, but like I always say, we just gotta wait and see. So a lot of conflicting reports coming out of USC, especially over the weekend, that at least 2 players, and Greg Johnson and Velus Jones Jr., have also put in their names in the transfer portal, which sucks. But apparently some news came out that even the wide receiver Velus Jones had only did it for maybe personal reasons. So I'm pretty sure it's probably like family emergencies why he's doing that, if he can transfer to a school out there where he's from. But if not, then he's probably going to stay anyways, because he's been putting up some cryptic messages on Twitter as well. So maybe these guys might not even transfer in the end, but we'll have to wait and see. And then another guy who was left off the depth chart list was Keyshawn Pai Young, who was also like an athlete, so they didn't know where to put him at receiver or on the defensive side, but he was left off the roster. So apparently he looks like he's gone, which sucks. They did add John Jackson III to the active roster, and he got his official number, so it looks like he did earn a scholarship. And it's just because all these guys are leaving USC and they're pretty down as far as even before he got on. They only had 4 scholarship wide receivers. Even though they are talented, you're still going to need more depth at that position, especially in a quote-unquote air raid offense that they're running. So you need a lot of guys to catch the ball, even though they have a lot of tight ends. And another guy, Hunter Echols, they said he entered the portal, and then he said he wasn't, and then he did show up on that first spring practice the other day, I believe it was on Tuesday, and said, I'm not going anywhere. I don't know what you guys are saying, yelling that running out of the tunnel. So at least it looks like at least one of these guys are gonna stick around. Then also they did finally bring on a strength and conditioning coach, Osmus. He was with the team like back in 03 when they won the championship, and he just circled his way back around. And he was even around when they were in 2010 when they had that great year, one of the great most recent years, and when they went 11-12 when that year didn't count. So hopefully he can bring some consistency and help build these young guys up, be able to take on this long season and not cater to them because they're 4- and 5-star athletes, and hopefully he beats them down and builds them back up to greater men. So that's going to be good. And then also over the weekend it was the NFL Combine, so you had Chuma Edoga going that first day, and you could see the highlights from Cameron Smith, Porter Gustin, their 40 times in running, and then the athletic stuff from Marvell Tell, because he didn't run, and then Iman Marshall as well, getting in his 40 time. Times were all pretty good for those guys. Hopefully it sort of moved them up in the projections of the drafts coming up, and we'll just see how it goes. It's gonna be very interesting to see where any of those guys land, as always.
Middleton with 6 points in this first. James to the rack.
Each I'm talking about, that is incredible.
Kuzma can't finish, but James accelerates and flushes, plus the foul. 5 of 5. Adetokounmpo gets blocked from behind by Muscala. Here is Ingram spinning around Mirotic to the reverse. Oh, on! Brandon Ingram putting everyone on notice.
Ball game if they play well.
Bullock drops it off to James. Just threw that one away. And those are the kind of turnovers that James takes the lob up top. And the slam. 1:18 to finish the job. James inside. Brings the hammer.
For the finish, and the lead is 10. Nice look from Rondo to LeBron for the easy finish.
Johnson for LeBron. Here he goes. He lands it up and in. And King James has flown past Air Jordan and is now number 4 all-time scoring in NBA history. Standing ovation.
You know what'll make it even better?
Tell me.
He can make a free throw here. No, seriously, that's quite an accomplishment, obviously, by LeBron.
Yep. And during the next timeout, we're going to stay here. They will have a video tribute to LeBron. Passing Michael. And he does make a free throw. Taking his time, now losing it with 4. With 3 down the middle goes LeBron James.
And as far as Lakers news, there seems to be not much talk about wins, but of course everything else. So Kyle Kuzma got injured the other day, and looks like his MRI came back okay. So he's not fully correctly injured, but he did miss last night's game. Don't know if he's going to come back for their next game coming up. We'll just have to wait and see. Then also they asked LeBron if he was going to sit out just because it doesn't seem like the Lakers are going to make the playoffs, and of course his quote is, if I'm hurt, unless I'm hurt, then I'm not going to sit out. which to me sucks because he could injure himself even more, in my opinion. And then they could also lose out on a top lottery pick. And I'll get to that in a little bit to see who they're projected to get as of the other day. Then also they mentioned that Luke Walton is reportedly going to be fired after the season, which to me sucks because he hasn't been given a fair shot, just been given a crappy roster, and then you get LeBron James, but he gets injured, and then everything else falls because everybody else keeps getting injured as well. Even in the game last night, both Kuzma and Ingram were out, the only two healthy enough players, and then you already know Ball has been out, and they tried to come back in that game. It just wasn't good enough because Denver is just that much better this year. But he's going to have to deal with that for the time being. They did say, or Stephen A. Smith came out the other day saying that the top coaching candidates that they're looking at are Doc Rivers, who's with the Clippers right now, Coach K, who's at Duke, which I personally don't see, guys like Mark Jackson, Tyronn Lue. I hope it's not Tyronn Lue. It's just going to seem like a bad fit in my opinion. I don't think he could really coach that well. He was just in a better situation in Cleveland, and because they're in the East, that's why they're at least able to get to the playoffs all the time. But that's just the way it goes, I guess. I hope Luke Walton does get a chance. They say he might get even the UCLA job, which is pretty crazy. Him going to Arizona as well in college, so that'd be pretty intriguing for him. But the only milestone that we can talk about the game, anything positive, was that LeBron did pass Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list, so he's now in sole possession of 4th place. You guys saw that highlight real quick there. It did end up in a loss, and even at that time he did get the record. They were down by like 15 or something like that. It does put like a little bit of damper on the situation, but hopefully things can be better coming forward this summer. Then also we had Bleacher Report projecting that Kobe White, the point guard / shooting guard out of North Carolina, would go to the Lakers if they were in the draft lottery. I don't mind him because he did show he can push the pace and at least hit his wide open threes and do a lot of things on the court. He is a pretty fast guy when I last saw him against Duke, because other than that I'm not going to watch any North Carolina games. But that could be an intriguing player on the Lakers team. Even if the Lakers suck even more, in my opinion, they could play their draft lottery odds, and if they get a higher pick, then they could also trade that in a package to the Pelicans, who would most likely take that, other than what they were offering before the All-Star break. And then also we've heard that talks between the Lakers and Carmelo Anthony kind of like went down after a bit last week. Don't know really why or what, but I know they were trying to get a power forward / center, and then I guess they don't want to waste a roster spot on Carmelo Anthony if they're not going to end up making the playoffs anyway. It's just wasting money. But yes, that's all the Laker drama I have for you as of right now. A lot of it has happened since we last spoke, and I'm pretty sure a lot more is going to happen by the next time we speak. Quick news, so the Chargers, they're trying to make it a priority to re-sign Melvin Gordon, which is at least some positive news. Hopefully they can work out some type of hometown discount. Then also they're projected to get Daniel Jones in their 1st round pick, according to Bleacher Report. It's okay. I think he's just a little bit faster version than Phillip Rivers. I'd prefer a guy like a Drew Lock or even a Will Greer, who you could probably get later in the draft and get a better player in the 1st round, but that's just my opinion. And they are also looking to re-sign the middle linebacker Denzel Perryman. You know, he's been injured a lot the past 2 years, but whenever he is healthy, he is better. So hopefully another hometown discount. And then they let Tyrell Williams, the wide receiver, go out to the free agent market, so we'll see how that goes. And the Anaheim Ducks did get 2 wins this last week. It's really cool. They almost had another one last night, but too bad. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Running out of space. Gotta end the video real quick. Alright, and have a great rest of your day.